The Richard Montgomery. Across the storm-swept Atlantic they came, convoy after convoy, of ships loaded with guns, bombs, tanks and war materials to supply the Allied army in Europe. The Richard Montgomery was a liberty ship, built quickly in large numbers to replace the millions of tons of shipping sank by U-boats in the Atlantic. The 25th of July 1944. The Richard Montgomery, with 120 merchant ships and 33 escorts in convoy HX 301, left New York bound for the D-Day landing beaches. Loaded with 6,862 tons of bombs, the crew knew should a torpedo hit them, they would stand no chance of survival. On arrival in British waters, the Richard Montgomery continued on her journey around the top of Scotland and down the east coast of England as part of Convoy FS 1543, arriving in the Thames Estuary. 20th of August 1944. Incorrectly positioned by the Southend harbour master in a crowded anchorage, the Richard Montgomery dragged her anchor and irretrievably grounded, despite other close-by ships sounding their horns in warning. 3 days after the Montgomery ran aground, the salvage ships Empire Nutfield and SS Flathouse arrived with 3 gangs of stevedores and began to unload her deadly cargo. The tug Atlantic Cock supplied steam for the derricks. 4th of September. The strong winds and high waves forced the salvage operation to be abandoned. The weather had won the battle for the Montgomery. The Richard Montgomery's manifests show her cargo was 6,862 tons of bombs. Records confirm that between the 23rd of August and the 4th of September 1944, 1,514 tons of bombs were removed from the Richard Montgomery. To this day, a massive 5,348 tons of bombs remain on the Richard Montgomery. The Richard Montgomery, American liberty ship, rests in the Thames Estuary off Sheerness.